Little Cisco, you're first up here in this NFL mailbag. And first is, do you think that the Miami Dolphins are going to get the 5 seed in overall draft pick? Well,
I think he means a top 3 pick.
Yeah, I definitely think they will have a top 3 pick because of the Houston pick. So, Little Cisco, my answer to that question is yes. Todd Weiss, what up? Top draft prospects for the Raiders. The Raiders right now, you need somebody at safety. However, I think you can get a safety in the second round, maybe like a Javon Holland or Morig, the guy from TCU, their safety.
Hey, Trayvon Merrick, I think he's a good option. Call me crazy. I think they need another pass rusher.
You definitely need another. I mean, if Gregory Rousseau falls to you, I don't think that's going to end up happening because if the draft were to happen today, the Raiders have the 16th pick.
Furl hasn't developed that much. Crosby's good, but is he a number 1 beast? I think he's more of a number 2 type.
See, the other issue is I'm not really sold on a guy like Kwity Paye. Kwity Paye he's got all the talent in the world, but he's very up and down. I've seen a lot of people be very high on Marvin Wilson, defensive tackle from Florida State.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sold on him either.
It's a weird class.
It's a very weird class, but I'm in agreement. You need some safeties, maybe a cornerback, and then definitely some more players in the line.
All the defense.
I mean, it's just got to be defense. Dark Side, how would you re-rank the 2020 rookie wide receivers?
Jefferson 1, Lamb 2, Ayuk 3. Those are your top 3. You could go any order on the 3. I would go Jefferson 1, I would go Lamb 2, and I'd go Ayuk 3.
I might still put CeeDee Lamb at number 1 for the simple fact of I don't know what CeeDee Lamb could have done with Dak Prescott for a full year. And I definitely think that Jefferson is fitting perfectly in that offense, but I still think that CeeDee Lamb is a better receiver than Jefferson. I'm not afraid to say that.
It's a stud class. I still think Ruggs will end up being a good player. I still think Rager will end up being a good player. You're talking 5, 6, 7. Darnell Mooney for the Bears went in the 5th round. He's had a terrific season. Like, you might look up in 5 years, and there might be 10 receivers from this class that are damn good players. So you can't go wrong with a lot of the top guys.
If you guys love NFL news, rumors, and also if you love talking about the NFL draft, we're about to get into a ton of off-season draft free agency rumors. I'll tell you what, this might actually be my favorite time of the season for the simple fact of anything can happen. And when trades and free agency stuff starts happening, there is no better time to be subscribed to our channel because it gets wild. So what I want you guys to do right now, it takes 2 seconds. Underneath the video, click that big red button that says subscribe. And if you already subbed, take the link, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Send it to some friends. Let's get to 228,000 subs. We would appreciate it. All right, this one's coming in from Junior Johnny. Who will be the Dolphins' first pick? And can you predict the top 5 picks if the draft happened today? Okay, Junior Johnny. So this is actually pretty interesting. I talked to Tom when I came into work today, and I said, Tom, I want you to break down your top 5 picks if the draft were to happen today. So right now, here's the 2021 draft order. The Jags have already locked in the number 1 pick. Breaking news, it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. Then it's the Jets, the Dolphins via Houston, the Falcons, and the Bengals. So Tom sent me his top 5 picks. He has it this. The Jags going out and selecting Trevor Lawrence, quarterback from Clemson. The Jets taking Zach Wilson, quarterback from BYU.
He's a fast riser.
Penei Sewell, offensive tackle for Oregon. And then Justin Fields, he's going to go to the Atlanta Falcons. Patrick Surtain. I mean, that's pretty interesting there for the
He's the top corner, I think, out of Alabama there. It's going to be interesting to see the Wilson Fields thing develop. Who ends up being quarterback 2? I think we know Lawrence is going number 1. That's a done deal. Who's going to be QB2? Wilson Fields, and then how high does Trey Lance go? Does he go top 10?
That's true.
It's going to be very, very fascinating to see how it plays out. Sewell would be a great pick for the Miami Dolphins.
See, for me, Sewell might be your left tackle. And that's where he's been at Oregon, but he's such a talented guy. If you're Miami, you can put him at right tackle because I want my best offensive lineman protecting to his blind side.
Yes.
And yes, at right tackle, that is the Miami Dolphins blind side. And I get the fact that they just benched him for Fitz. Their future is invested in keeping to a healthy, keeping to an upright. And I think Penei Sewell is one of the best offensive tackle prospects that I've seen in probably like 10 years, dude. Like, I'm telling you, I am totally sold on this guy. If it wasn't Trevor Lawrence, I'd say that he should be the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you're the Dolphins and he's available for you at 3, you take Penei Sewell and you make him your right tackle. So what I want you guys to do right now, we made Tom predict the top 5 picks in the 2021 NFL Draft. I want you to do it because that's what makes Chat Sports different. We honestly, genuinely look at the comments. We care what you guys have to say. So go down, let us know. Predict the top 5 picks in the 2021 NFL Draft. Maybe we'll even do some sort of competition this year. We've done competitions in the past. We'll be live for the NFL Draft as well. So, make sure you guys get your votes in.
Who goes number 2?
Number 2? Dude, I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea. And
Maybe
I hate
Sewell.
to say it,
Maybe the Jets trade down and someone takes Sewell.
Yeah, that's actually, if you're the Jets, that's what you try to end up doing, because I don't want Zach Wilson. I don't want Justin Fields. There's no way I want a quarterback after Trevor Lawrence, because it's such a far drop.
At least that high.
Yeah, that's very true. All right, Amir, what up, my man? What quarterbacks are in range for the Bears to draft?
See, this is the dilemma you run into. Like, yeah, you're fired up that Trubisky has played well and that you have a good shot of making the playoffs this year. The downside to that and to winning these games down the stretch is, unless Trubisky becomes your franchise quarterback, which maybe that happens, who knows,
sure,
is that you're not in range to get one of these top 4 guys anymore. I don't think you draft a quarterback in round 1 unless you trade up. So I think, Amir, maybe you trade down and take a Mac Jones later in round 1 or a Kyle Trask, or early round 2, you try to get into that range for a quarterback. But unless Trey Lance slides to like 20, which someone's going to fall in love with the kid and draft him, we see it every year, I don't think it's very likely the Bears go quarterback in round 1, which, hey, get a left tackle instead. There's nothing wrong with that if you're the Chicago Bears. And if you are a Bears fan or just an NFL fan, don't you want to go to stadiums next year, Mitch? I know you missed out this year. You wanted to go to Allegiant Stadium. Wear a face mask. We know the vaccine's on the way, but who the hell knows what the protocols are going to be. You got to wear one of these. Chatsports.com/stay safe. We got that link in the comments. We got it in the description. Tons of different variety packs for you guys. Solo packs up to 4 packs. Some select 3 packs, Mitch, are still as low as $4.99 as of today. Take advantage. Chatsports.com/stay safe. You can pull the whole, I forgot Christmas this year, and just buy one of these and be like, it came in late. Works every time. Chatsports.com/stay safe. Check the comments. Check the description.
This one's coming in from Joshua Rice. Now that the Seahawks have a top 10 defense, no, they don't. They don't. Do you think
they're playing better, but
they're not a top 10 defense?
Top 15 maybe, but yeah, they're not top 10.
Sorry. Do you think that the Packers could possibly Super Bowl favorite? I'll still say this: the Packers, they are my Super Bowl favorite, but yes, the Seahawks are the top.
In the NFC or in general?
NFC.
Okay.
I still, the Saints to me are a team where they play really well sometimes, but I know we've been saying for a while the Packers lay a clunker. They've been playing well. I think it is.
If you have decent corners, I think the Saints are in trouble. You just play press coverage.
Yeah.
I don't think Breeze can beat me over the top if I have decent corners. I think it's the Seahawks and the Packers. I'm with you.
Gary Sanderson, if the Cowboys get a top 7 pick, should they trade down with a bad team and attempt to get Derek Stingley? Sorry, I can't read.
Yeah, a really good player out of LSU. I mean, they're not going to be a top 7. They have 6 wins now. If you lose in Week 17, maybe you get top 10. But, I don't think you're going to be in Stingley range because, obviously, Dallas is trying to win.
Next question coming in from Mickey Mark. Where do you think Jadeveon Clowney plays next season? I mean, it's kind of funny to think that the guy who was basically our number 1 free agent all of last season, all the entire
how many videos
offseason,
did we make around this guy? 15?
Oh, my gosh. It was every single week. We would talk about Jadeveon Clowney, who definitely has not played well whatsoever this year.
Done nothing this year.
And when we put him in our top 2021 free agent list, we had him at number 20 because the talent is obviously there, but it's obviously fit. It's obviously where he's going to be the most motivated. And for somebody that was drafted number 1 overall back in 2014, he just hasn't lived up to the hype. And if you ask Clowney, he'd probably tell you that, hey, man, I deserve $20 million a year. You just ain't going to get that. So if I'm him, I'm going to say this. Where can I go for a short contract, probably another 1-year prove-it deal, where I can show that I deserve a long-term contract? For me, it was these 4 teams. These 4 teams to me would be the best teams that not only need an edge rusher, but would be willing to pay Clowney and where he could get the most out of it. So I had the Seahawks, Dolphins, Browns, Ravens. Are there any teams that maybe pop into your mind that you would add to this list, or are you pretty happy with the list I put forward?
I like this list. I think he needs to go to a good team with good players around him. It has not worked out in Tennessee. I know you're a big fan of him going to Seattle.
I mean, it just makes sense. Like, if you're Clowney and you're trying to figure out where he's most likely to go next season, I am anticipating that he does end up going back to Seattle because that's a team that knows him. And even though he didn't put up a lot of sacks, I believe only 3 back in 2019, he was still a very good piece to that offense.
He was productive.
And he wants to be on a winning team. Like, the biggest reason why he didn't go to the Dolphins, and now he's probably kicking himself in the butt, 2 years ago, was he said that they weren't a winning caliber team.
Ooh,
he wants to play for a winner. And I think the most logical explanation is for him to go to the Seattle Seahawks. So predict it. Where will Jadeveon Clowney play next season? I'm going to go with Seattle. Do you want to go with a different route? I know, actually, the last time I made a Clowney destination video, I had the Ravens and Titans. I believe they were 1 and 2.
I like Seattle as well. I know it's a cop-out answer, but there's familiarity there. We know he was productive there. I think that just makes too much sense. Back to Seattle. He's definitely not re-signing in Tennessee. I think both parties are going to move on from that situation.
Absolutely. So let us know in the comments, where will Clowney play next season? Last question coming in from TKG. Okay, who do you think is going to win the NFC East? Asking as a Cowboys fan.
I think it's going to be the Cowboys.
I actually think it's going to be Dallas.
I think Philadelphia beats Washington, and I think Dallas beats the Giants, and that's what has to happen for Dallas to get in. I don't – if I knew Alex Smith was 100% for Washington, I'd probably pick him to beat Philadelphia. But I don't know that.
Yeah.
Like I just don't know that. So I'm going to say Dallas because I think they're better than the Giants. I think they'll win that game. And I think that Washington will probably lose to Philadelphia because even though he didn't play that well against Dallas, Jalen Hurts has lifted this Philadelphia team the last 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm going to go with Dallas making the playoffs.